back. You're watching Overdrive, and it's time now for us to take your queries on Autoselector. Bert joins us as always. Hi Bert, our first question comes into us from Ehsan. He writes in saying he's planning to buy himself a diesel hatchback. His budget is 5 to 6 lakh rupees and he wants to buy the car in the next 6 to 7 months. He's broadly shortlisted the Ford Figo, the Maruti Swift and the Fiat Grande Punto. His main requirements are space, economy and durability, along with a smooth drive and maneuverability. He's heard rumors that the Maruti WagonR is going to get a diesel version. Is it true? If so, when is this expected to happen? And would this be a better choice as compared to the other shortlisted candidates that he's told us about?
Okay, let me cut those choices down to two, the Figo and the Swift. Now the Figo is a fantastic hatchback. It's basically revived Ford's fortunes in India, and that's because it's a brilliant package all over. It's got a fantastic interior, comfortable and spacious. It's got good ride quality. It's great handling. Very, very dynamic hatchback and very sporty and fun to drive as well. And it's got a fantastic diesel engine, which is both powerful and yet frugal in the city and on the highway. But the Swift is just a notch above that in all respects. Its diesel engine is much superior. It's much better. It's also as fuel efficient. It's got more comfortable and a little more space in the inside of the cabin. Overall, it's a much more dynamic car, so it's a lot more fun to drive. And well, since you say your budget is about 5 to 6 lakh rupees, the Swift fits comfortably in that. Probably not the top variant of the Swift, but definitely the middle variant. You can definitely afford that. Now, on the aspect of whether the WagonR is coming out with the diesel engine, well, I don't think Maruti is going to explore that option as yet, though a lot of their fortunes now hinge on their diesel engine options. The cars that are coming on the diesel engine in the Maruti fold are basically the Swift and the Dzouza. They haven't decided on anything lower than that, and principally because the only engine they can play around with is the 1.3 diesel, and that does not fit in the WagonR. The WagonR, as you know, it comes with the 1 litre petrol engine, and well, that isn't, it isn't going to change. You aren't going to be able to fit in the 1.3 diesel, which is a much larger power plant along with the transmission and all of the accessories and components inside that engine bay of the WagonR. So no, I don't think Maruti is going to make the diesel WagonR.
Okay, but our next question comes into us from Aditya Kaul. He writes into us from Jammu. He wants to buy a mid-segment car to drive around in Jammu, which he says bustles with traffic issues. I can vouch for that. He says he's looking for a car with low maintenance, good interiors, excellent performance handling and good fuel economy. He likes the new Maruti Swift, but he's confused between the Etios Lever and the Hyundai i10 as well. What would you suggest for him?
Well, the Maruti Swift is the best choice in that segment, undoubtedly, in every condition. But since one of your principal concerns is driving around in very crowded situations, the Etios Lever does match up to that expectation of wanting a trouble, stress-free car to drive in crowded city areas. And that's principally because it's got a light steering, which is not just light, it's effortless and makes the car very easy, very maneuverable in crowded city conditions. On performance, efficiency, comfort, all other aspects, the Swift is a slightly better car, but that's not to say that the Etios Lever lacks all of those characteristics. You will be perfectly happy with the Etios Lever, and I think that is the car that fits your bill.
Okay, but our last question this week is a biking question. It comes into us from NH Rishi. He writes in from Vadodara. He owns a Hero Honda CBZ 1999 model. He's keen on buying himself a Bullet. He rides throughout the city as well as on highways. He wants a powerful bike with the Bullet's trademark thump in firing and a bike that will be comfortable to ride as well. He likes the classic 500, but it lacks the thump, is what he has to say. Should he get an old bike and refurbish it? Could you give him an estimation of how much it would end up costing him if it were to go down the refurbishing route?
Well, effectively, that thump has been lost, and a lot of Bullet enthusiasts miss that the most about the new generation Enfield motorcycles. And that's principally because of a lot of emission regulations, a lot of modernization of that engine, especially that AVL block. That thump is not going to come back to the Bullets. Now, if you want to replicate that thump, you want to revive that sound, you definitely have to go in for an older motorcycle. The fallback of that is reliability issues. A lot of the older generation Bullets were not very reliable machines, and if you are, you don't have a concern about your motorcycle spending a lot of time in the garage, definitely go in for the older Bullets. But if you're looking for a newer motorcycle, the thump, well, it's not going to come back with the motorcycle as it is. That said, you can, however, regain some amount of that noise by changing the exhaust, by modifying that exhaust, or getting a slightly longer silencer. And well, that will retain some of that sound. You'll get some of that thump sound back in your motorcycle, but not enough, I think, to interest you or to excite you for that matter.
Okay, with that, it is time for us to wrap up Autoselector for this week. Remember, if you have questions, we have the answers. Send us your queries to helpdesk@overdrive.co.in. You can also send us your questions via Twitter and on our Facebook page.